So in this video, I'm going to talk about creating a column footing. We've already added a wall footing, which is here, and foundation walls to the Revit project. And basically all we're going to be doing here is adding the footing. We're not going to actually add the column. The column that you see in this image here appears to be a concrete column. And in our project, this is a residential wood framed structure. It's unlikely that the column, if you needed one in the foundation level, that it would be made out of concrete. It would, if it was an older building, it would often be made out of some kind of timber. Newer construction is probably going to be made out of steel. So here's an example of a foundation plan. So you can see the foundation walls all the way around, and I'm going to add a spotlight here. So the foundation wall is going all the way around. The dashed lines that you see are the footings below any concrete slabs or any other obstruction. But the reason I wanted to show this to you is we have a series of columns in here, or posts, and you can see these squares below them. In this case, there are two of the columns, and so the footing below it is joined into one big one. But those represent the column footings, and that's what we're going to be drawing. So I'm back in the Revit project, and I'm going to go to the 3D view. Okay, I've got a foundation wall and footing for a full basement and one for a crawl space here. And what I'm going to be doing is adding a footing, one footing here in the middle of this first structure and a second one at the intersection of these column lines here. Maybe it'd be easier to show this from plan view. So one will go here and one will go there. And the reason for this is because these are going to be two wood frame structures, and our column lines are 20 feet apart. 40 feet is really too long for typical wood frame construction. So by having a column here, we'll be able to have 20-foot length members, which would be much more reasonable. Okay, so first thing that we're going to do is go to the structure tab, and we are going to click on isolated footing. Oops. Looks like we need to load something here. So I'm going to hit no here because it'll take me to a different folder, and I'm going to go to the insert tab here so I can bring in a column footing. So click on insert, come over here to load Autodesk family, and in the search terms you can look for footing and click on load. Oh, I'm sorry, and go ahead and search for those, press enter. Okay, so you see some options here. It appears that most of these are 2D details or components. I need to use a 3D component, so I'm going to click on footing rectangular, and then I'm going to load it. Okay, so now when I go to structure, and again, let me do that again, isolated here, I should see that this new footing has been brought into the file. Okay, so this size of this is something I want to make some changes to. So I'm going to click on edit type, and I'm going to create a duplicate. Okay, and my duplicate, I'm going to make this one 36 by 36 by, we can keep it at 18. Okay. And again, the sizes of these really are going to be dependent on the soil conditions below the structure. So we're going to click on OK, and then we can go ahead and make the changes here. So it's going to be 3 feet. It will be a square column footing. And I'm going to click on apply and OK. All right, now I want to place this centered on this column grid 2 and B. So I'm going to go ahead right now. It is locating it at level 0. First thing I'm going to do is just place it there. Okay, and I'll accept the issue here with it not being visible. Okay. And I'm going to go to a 3D view, and there's this this footing sitting there. Okay, so let's go ahead and get it in its proper position. So I am going to go back to level 0. And one of the reasons that the footing is not showing here is because of my view range. So you can get to the view range tool through the properties window, or you can type in VR. Okay, so level 0, offset at the top there would be 7.6, cut plane at 4 feet. The bottom says offset of 0 feet, 0 inches. So basically it's not letting me see anything below that. If I change this to unlimited and click on apply, now it's going to appear. So basically I can see everything below that level unless something is covering it. So there's the one, okay? And I'm going to create another one, but I'm going to make this one a little bit bigger than the one over here. So here we go back to structure, isolated, and edit type. Let's make another duplicate, and let's make this 48 by 48. And leave it as 18 inches and say okay, and change the width and the length to 4 feet, and apply and okay. All right, now we'll go ahead and place it. Now, both of these are in the wrong height for the purposes of this particular project. So to show you this, I'm going to go to my section here. And as you can see, well, it would be okay to have the footing at this level, but I would prefer to have it drop to the same height as the top of the footing. So when the slab is placed in here, we don't have these joints appearing. So I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to scroll up to the top here, level 1, the height offset, or level 0, the height offset is going to be minus 0 feet, 4 inches. Okay, so now it's sitting at the same height as the footing. And for this one, I'm going to move it up also so that it has the same relationship as the other footings. So I'm going to use this measure tool, and when I click on the top to here, you'll remember that we raised those up 3 feet, 4 inches. So I'll do the same thing with this footing. The height offset is going to be 3 feet, 4 inches. And there we go. Right, so those two column footings are done. Let's take a look at it in 3D. There they are. And they may seem like they're in the wrong position, but I think if you go to the orbit tool, so I've clicked on this navigation tool over here and come over and spin around, you'll see that it is in fact in the correct position, and based on what we see in the plans and also in the section. Now, one last thing I'll add in this video is a concrete slab for the one over here. So I'm going to go up to level 0, and under architecture, I think I had already started working on that. I'm going to go to the architecture tab and click on floor, and I'll take a look at the types. Oops, let's do this. Let's look at the possible types here. So most of these have more complexity than we need. So what we will do is click on the generic, which is the default, edit the type, and we're going to call this, we're going to duplicate it, and we're going to call it concrete slab. Let's add 4 inches in front of it to distinguish it from others that we may include here. So let's see here, when I edit the structure, I need to change the thickness to 4 inches. And I'm also going to search for concrete. So I can scroll down here, concrete cast in place gray is what I want. Okay. And okay. Right, apply and okay. And now I'm in the modify create floor boundary ribbon here, and I'm going to click on this rectangle, and I want to bring my slab all the way to the foundation wall, not to the footing below. So I'm going to click here and all the way up there in the corner, and then I'll check the box. Okay, now we'll take a look at it in section and make sure it's properly located. Looks like it is. The top of that slab should be at level 0, and it should be resting on top of the footings. Go back to my 3D view, and you should now see that the footing no longer appears in the view because it's underneath the slab.